Welcome to our first session of Developing Personal Resilience. Hi, my name's Dan, and over a series of videos, I'm going to be walking you through understanding what personal resilience is and how to develop personal resilience in your own life so that you can be more successful and also to help those around you to be more successful as well. Well, let's get started. Let's take a step back in time to May 25th, 1961. Our President of the United States was JFK, and he had a magnificent vision, a challenge for our nation, what many would call an impossible dream. Now, let's just stop for a moment. Do you have an impossible dream? Maybe you had an impossible dream in the past and you gave up on it. Many people have given up on their dreams for different reasons. Maybe you've gotten knocked down. Maybe you were discouraged after failing once, or maybe failing twice, or maybe even failing a third time. Or maybe someone just told you that your dream just can't come true. Well, I'm here today to encourage you to pursue your dream, and that through learning and understanding what personal resilience is and developing it in your own life, you can see your dreams come true as well. Well, let's step back into our story, May 25th, 1961, and JFK issues this challenge to the United States. And I quote, "I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to Earth." Well, at the time, 1961, it was completely absurd to believe that the United States would be able to launch a rocket into space and then land on the moon, walk around, and then return safely back to Earth. They just didn't have the technology. They had no experience doing so, and we were way behind in order to achieve this in the next 10 years. In addition to that, this challenge would be far more costly and way more difficult than anyone could have imagined. Recently, I watched the Netflix documentary, Mission Control, The Unsung Heroes of Apollo, that retells the story of our nation's attempt to meet the challenge that JFK had given our nation of going to the moon and walking around and then returning safely to the Earth. Now, the challenge that the leaders of the Apollo program had was just unimaginable, and the consequences of failure were huge. And beyond that, our nation was going through a time of trying to heal from being wrecked by war, 2 prominent leadership assassinations, civil and social discord, a contentious election, and financial crisis. They had all of this, and it was a heavy load to bear. Beyond that, the leaders of the program had no idea what they were doing. This had never been done before. There was no plan. There was no blueprint for drafting up these rockets and sending people to the moon, and they had to figure it all out. Well, now you may not be launching rockets to the moon, but certainly you have big challenges in your life, big challenges at work. And in today's world, the adversities that we face are unprecedented. And I know you've heard that before, but really, the adversity we have today is redefining how we live and work. And it's really pushing us outside of predetermined lines of how we do things and requiring us to come up with completely new solutions. Now, I'd like you to watch a video of a man who is doing something that is impossible, seemingly impossible, but somehow he does it. And as you watch this video, I'd like for you to ask yourself a question. What inner skills has he mastered that allows him to do this, to do the impossible? Enjoy the video. Impressive, isn't he? The consequences of what Alex is doing could not be higher. He clings to the side of the mountain with almost nothing to hold on to. And in one moment, you notice he takes both hands off the side of the mountain and smiles. How is it possible that he is climbing this mountain, this sheer mountain, with no ropes, and just does it with joy and grace? Well, that's what we're going to discover in the next several sessions together. I'm going to share with you the personal resilience characteristics that I believe Alex has mastered that allow him to do the impossible. Now, what I'd like you to do is spend some time thinking about your impossible dream. What's that big challenge that you want to take on? And we've got some questions after this video that I'd like you to spend some time answering. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.